Hare Krishna, welcome all the devotees. We'll start with prayers. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Desha Tarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया की जय श्री निताई गौरांग की जय श्री Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome all the devotees. So, in the last class, yesterday, we had very nice pastime hearing from His Grace Shruta Kirti Prabhu, who served Prabhupada during his time and preached very rigorously and made so many disciples. And he is still there and traveling to different centers and narrating the pastimes of Srila Prabhupada, making everyone conscious of Prabhupada, making everyone to develop feelings for Prabhupada, because Prabhupada, what he did was miraculous, unparalleled. Nobody in the history has ever done like what Prabhupada did. Even since the beginning of creation, if I talk, since the beginning of creation, there has been many great sages and saintly persons. But I compare even everyone, beginning of creation, Brahma, Narada, Vyasa, everybody, none of these sages or great devotees had preached such rigorously like Prabhupada preached. Prabhupada preached all over the world, made atheists, agnostics, communist devotee of Krishna. This happened first time in the history of this creation, this whole Brahmanda, what Prabhupada has done. We read in Bhagavatam, we read in other scriptures that there was one hunter, he used to half kill the animal and he will take pleasure out of that. He will not kill the animal fully, he will kill half, and then he will stand and watch how the animal is wriggling and getting so much of pain and suffering, and finally after some time he dies. So in this process he just stands and watches and enjoys animal suffering. So such people have been there in history, and to such people Narad Muni like personalities came, and by their instruction Narad Muni converted this hunter who was Mrigari. He got converted and became very great Vaishnava, devotee of Krishna, who was hunter. He used to kill the animal half. So one or two cases we find in the history in Bhagavatam, such incidences are narrated. But when we see the life of Prabhupada, Prabhupada not only one or two hunter, millions of hunters, Prabhupada made them devotee of Krishna. Just see the glory of Prabhupada, unparalleled contribution made by Prabhupada in order to make the devotees. Prabhupada here and there, left, right, walking, talking, sitting, paying obeisances. He made devotees. Once Prabhupada was paying obeisances to Krishna, and one visitor had come to the temple and he had heard about Prabhupada. He had not yet seen, but he had heard that there is a great personality has come from East India and he is preaching very rigorously, making people devotee. As soon as when he heard that Prabhupada is coming to our place also, so he was very excited. He came there to see Prabhupada, and as soon as he saw Prabhupada paying obeisances to Krishna, immediately he became devotee and he joined the temple, became full time. Prabhupada made a madman devotee of Krishna, great devotee who became great preacher. There was one person who was completely mad since years he has not taken bath. His name was Pig Pong, and anywhere he will go, 100 meters he will emit bad odor. So much of nasty odor he was emitting from his body. Just by touching his hand on his head, Prabhupada made him devotee. Traveling in the flight, one Mataji partook in the remnants of Prabhupada. Later, she was stewardess in the flight. Stewardess means, what do we call stewardess? Air hostess. So that lady, she partook in the remnants of Prabhupada when Prabhupada would travel in flight. Generally, Prabhupada would have his lunch or dinner, whatever. Sometimes, one time, there was one lady. Fortunately, she got the remnants of Prabhupada. She had it. Later, she was transformed completely and became devotee of Krishna. So like this, we see Prabhupada, anywhere he go, he went, he made devotee. Like yesterday, we were hearing from Shrutakirti Prabhu. Prabhupada, nobody had ever thought ki even communist will become devotee. Communist means atheist, means godless civilization. Communism means godless. So there can never ever be a preaching about God in such country. Russia, China is such a country, communist country. Prabhupada went even China and discussed with Kotowski and made one devotee. And that one person, he made whole China Krishna conscious. Today, so many people chanting Hare Krishna. That is the potency of Prabhupada. So unfortunately, we all who are here, we are in the direct contact of that personality who is very, 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 very rare to find in this material universe, in this Brahmanda. ब्रह्मांड भ्रमिते कोनो भाग्यवान जीव, कोई एक भाग्यवान जीव ही होगा जो कि गुरु कृष्ण प्रसाद, उसको गुरु की प्रसाद मिलती है, गुरु का प्रसाद उसको मिलता है, गुरु कृष्ण कृष्ण मिलते हैं और गुरु एक सदगुरु मिलता है उसको. कोनो भाग्यवान, ऐसे भाग्यवान जीव केवल एक होता है, कोई एक होता है. पूरे ब्रह्मांड भ्रमण करने के बाद कोई एक जीव ऐसा मिलता है जो कि सदगुरु जिसको मिले, एक रियल बोनाफाइड गुरु मिले और उसकी वो डायरेक्ट सेवा करे. And we have got that opportunity of getting association of Srila Prabhupada, who is that Sadguru. So we should count our blessings that we are not cheated by so many so-called gurus, bogus gurus who are preaching in the name of spirituality something else only. At least we are not got cheated. We should feel blessed by the Lord. Yes or no? Yes. So now let us discuss the teachings of Prabhupada, which is very, very, wonderful. And the teachings of Prabhupada will make us liberated from this material entanglement and take us back to Godhead. So I'll share the screen. Today we are going to discuss the 4th chapter. We'll have a quick recap. The name of the 4th chapter is Transcendental Knowledge. There are 42 verses dedicated to our beloved spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada Pranamand सबको याद होना चाहिए. I would request everyone to kindly remember Prabhupada Pranam Mantra, because this is very, very important. It will protect you from all kinds of danger. Whenever you are in danger, chant Prabhupada's Pranam Mantra. You will be saved, just like Purnamasi Mataji in Russia was saved by witch. And this Panch Tattva Mantra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Hare Krishna Mantra, I have full hope that you have all remembered this Maha Mantra Hare Krishna. So recap, Karma Yoga was explained in 3rd chapter. Now 4th chapter. So in 4th chapter, what all topics Krishna has discussed? In the history of Bhagavad Gita, Lord's incarnation, when, where and why. When Lord appears, where Lord appears and why Lord appears. Varanasam system, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. and transcendental knowledge, and from whom we should take this knowledge. So first verse starts with history of Bhagavad Gita, that Krishna starts saying that this knowledge, Arjuna, what I am speaking is not new knowledge. This is existing since the beginning of creation. I spoke this knowledge first to sun god Vivaswan. Here you can see in the image Lord Krishna is speaking to Vivaswan, who is sun god. He is a person. He is not just a luminous object. He is a person, and from this body, from his body, this person who is sitting in front of Krishna, he is Vivaswan, and from his body this refulgence is coming out, to whom we call sun, Suraj. यही है सूरज, यही है, इनके बॉडी से उफल्जेंस निकलता है, पूरे ब्रह्मांड को वो इनलाइटन करता है. इनको भगवान ने इंस्ट्रक्शन दिया भगवद गीता का एट फर्स्ट. तो इनके बाद इन्होंने अपने बेटे को इंस्ट्रक्शन दिया. इन्होंने, यहाँ देखो ये सेकंड इमेज में, यहाँ पर इस सिंहासन बैठ के अपने बेटे को इंस्ट्रक्शन दे रहे हैं. इनके बेटे का नाम है वैवस्वत मनु, इनका नाम है विवस्वान. ये एक ही पर्सन है. यहाँ पर जो है, यहाँ पर रिसीव कर रहे हैं और यहाँ इंस्ट्रक्ट कर रहे हैं. ये आप कर्सर मेरा देख सकते हैं यहाँ पर नीचे वो सेकंड वाले इमेज में. ये विवस्वान है, अपने बेटे वैवस्वत मनु को इंस्ट्रक्शन दे रहे हैं. और वैवस्वत मनु अपने बेटे इक्ष्वाकु, जिस वंश में भगवान राम अवतार लिए थे, इक्ष्वाकु को ये नॉलेज दे रहे हैं. तो वही भगवान यहाँ बता रहे हैं कि अर्जुन को, अर्जुन ये नॉलेज ऐसा मत सोचो कि मैं अभी अभी देता हूँ, अभी अभी दे रहा हूँ. ये नॉलेज सिंस बिगिनिंग ऑफ क्रिएशन आई हैव गिवन दिस नॉलेज. बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली दिस नॉलेज वाज लॉस्ट because of not handing down properly. So then again Krishna is giving this knowledge, and this knowledge was received in parampara system. So here one point which is to be stressed is evam parampara praptam. Always spiritual knowledge is taken through parampara system, and this knowledge was received by Raj Rishi, those who were kings and sages also. तो मेनी टाइम्स वी क्वेश्चन, प्रभु जी अगर भक्ति करेंगे तो सब कुछ छोड़ना पड़ेगा ना, सब कुछ, घर द्वार, रिलेटिव, सगे संबंधी, पढ़ाई लिखाई सब छोड़ के करना पड़ेगा ना भक्ति. नहीं बाबा, भक्ति मीन्स, भक्ति कैन बी डन एट एनी स्टेज. हियर कृष्णा इज आस्किंग अर्जुना टू डू भक्ति, not asking to renounce everything. Bhakti is something which is very, very extraordinary. Bhakti is irrespective of time, place, circumstances, and your position in the society. Nothing. Bhakti is transcendental. Bhakti can be practiced even by animals. Animals can do bhakti. So what to speak of human beings? So a human being at any position, you are a student, you can do bhakti. You are a grahastha, you can do bhakti. You are a brahmachari, you can do bhakti. Anybody can, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Chandal, Maliksha, Yavana, Muslim, Hindu, Christian, anybody can do bhakti to Krishna. So just see, earlier this bhakti was even done by rishis, rajas, those who were kings. उनको बोलते हैं राज ऋषि. ऋषि क्यों? क्योंकि वो सेंटली थे. और राजा क्यों? क्योंकि वो राजा थे. तो अर्लियर किंग्स वर सेंटली इन नेचर. आज के राजा जैसा नहीं कि वो दे आर एथिस्ट. अर्लियर किंग्स वर सेंटली, कि वो दे वर प्योर डिवोटीज ऑफ कृष्णा. So like this knowledge was received through parampara system. But sakalene mata, in the over a period of time, this knowledge was lost. So then again Krishna is making Arjuna to receive this knowledge, because Arjuna is very, very dear to Krishna. Arjuna is devotee of Krishna and friend of Krishna. Therefore Krishna again has chosen Arjuna to start this knowledge, transcendental knowledge. And this knowledge is getting imparted by Krishna and recorded by Ved Vyas. Because Arjuna is a devotee of Krishna. So this is the qualification. Because chain of disciple succession is broken, so therefore again Krishna is starting this knowledge from Arjuna. How did Lord? So immediately, as soon as Krishna spoke this, Arjuna got a doubt. क्या डाउट मिला अर्जुन को? अर्जुन ने बोला, कृष्णा आप तो हमारे साथ जन्म लिए यार, आप तो मेरे फ्रेंड जैसे हो, और आप बोल रहे हो नहीं नहीं मैं तो नॉलेज सूरज को दिया, सूरज तो बिगिनिंग ऑफ क्रिएशन से है, तो आपने ये नॉलेज कब दे दिया? तो ये डाउट अर्जुन के माइंड में आया. एक्चुअली अर्जुन के माइंड में नहीं आया. अर्जुन, इसके पहले वाले श्लोक में हमने समझा अर्जुन वाज डिवोटी ऑफ कृष्णा. सो हाउ कैन अ डिवोटी बी इन इल्यूजन? डिवोटी इज ऑलवेज बियॉन्ड इल्यूजन. But Arjuna is put into this situation so that he may ask such questions for future generations who may develop such doubts in their mind and become, doubtful, and they will not have faith in Krishna's existence, Krishna's words. Therefore, Krishna deliberately put Arjuna into that state so that Arjuna should ask question and Krishna would respond. So therefore, Arjuna is asking question that कैसे मैं मानूं कि कृष्णा आपने नॉलेज दिया है सूरज को. तो फिर कृष्णा बोलते हैं बहुनी में व्यतीतानि. कृष्णा रिस्पॉन्स बहुनी में व्यतीतानि जन्मानि तव च अर्जुन तानि हम वेद सर्वाणि न त्वं वेद परंतपः. कृष्णा ने बोला कि हम मैं और आप दोनों लोग बहुत सारे इनका जन्म ले चुके हैं. मैं देखो ये इतने सारे अवतार ले चुका हूं, लेकिन I know everything but you don't know because I am not changing my body. In the same body his body is transcendental and does not change or deteriorate. He is not forced to appear. He comes when he wants. The jiva is stuck in the cycle of birth and death. So Krishna is not forced. We are forced. We are taking bodies according to our karma. Krishna is not taking body according to his karma. Krishna descends by his own nature, by his own sweet will. So that will be further explained by Krishna. So because here through this question answer we can understand. What did you do yesterday? It is sometimes become very difficult for us to remember. And because we are changing body, so we forget everything. But Krishna doesn't forget. So here same thing is written. We change our body, therefore we forget. But Krishna's body is Satchidananda, and therefore he doesn't forget. So Krishna's appearance is compared with Vaidurya stone. If you remember, we had discussed Vaidurya stone is a stone which changes its color, and very frequently it changes its color. One stone only at different time it will change different colors. So in the same way, Krishna is the only one personality, but he comes in different incarnations, in different forms. Different incarnation, different forms. Like here you can see fish incarnation, then tortoise incarnation, then boar incarnation, then half man, half lion, that is Narasimha incarnation, then Vaman incarnation, Parashurama. All the incarnation you can see different forms, but person is this one center who is sitting in the center and playing flute. Beautiful personality, such a what a beauty he is having. This beautiful personality who is called Krishna, he only is expanding in this form, incarnating different forms. These forms are not individual forms. These are one only coming from Krishna, but for different purposes they are descending. So Krishna's appearance in this material world in his original eternal form, with two hands holding a flute, he appears exactly in his eternal body, uncontaminated by this material world. So जब कृष्णा अवतार लेते हैं तो कृष्णा की बॉडी हमारी जैसी नहीं है. Krishna's body is not made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether. This blood, mucus, and bile, and stool, urine. Krishna's body is not made up of these nasty things. Our body is made of all horrible things, and we have got 9 holes in our body. Any of the holes, if it releases anything, it becomes very nasty. It is, we don't even try to look over it. If any of the holes releases anything, even from the mouth, if we omit, man kharab ho jata. From the nose, if anything comes out, from the eyes anything comes out, yes, from all the holes all the nasty things come out. So but Krishna's body is not like that. Krishna's body is not made up of all these nasty things. Krishna's body is transcendental, that we cannot conceive. Therefore we think that Krishna's body is also like us. No, Krishna's body is spiritual. Spiritual means it is made up of Satchidananda. And that same body, Krishna comes here in this material world also, who is that same form which is there in the spiritual world. Golok Vrindavan is spiritual world. Here you can see, we have already discussed. This is a chart. A material world, this black zone, black portion where this, in elliptical form, you can see here. This is material universe. Like that, there are so many unlimited material universes. In this blue zone, down below this white, this is called Brahma Jyoti, white region. This is called Brahma Jyoti coming. This is the rays coming from the body of Krishna. Brahma Jyoti. And below this is material world, unlimited universes. One universe is here, and in this one universe, there are so many planets, 14 planetary systems, and one planet is called Earthly planet, and we are there in that planet. In that planet also, there are so many countries. In one country, India, in that so many states. One city is your city, that city. There's so many, localities. The one locality is your locality. There's so many houses in that locality. There is one house of yours. In that, there are so many living entities, millions of living entities that house insects, worms. And that one living entity is you, and you are thinking, I am I'm a very intelligent person. I am very popped up. I know everything. I have, all the knowledge. Just see what a fun it is, no? What a joke. Our existence is insignificant in the comparison to total creation, but we have become so proud about it. So like this, if we compare, then we become humble. Yaar, hum to kuch nahi. We are like a part of ocean, drop of ocean. So this is this pink one is this, you can see lotus flower. This is spiritual world, and Krishna is here with the Radha Rani in the top. You know, here you can see performing pastimes. This is called Golok Vrindavan, and we all belong to this zone, this Golok Vrindavan, which is in pink color. And गुलाबी शहर, हम गुलाबी शहर से बिलोंग करते हैं, नॉट जयपुर गुलाबी शहर, बट आध्यात्मिक जगत में भी एक गुलाबी शहर, दैट इज इटर्नल. Jaipur is also pink city, but this is material world. But in the spiritual world, pink city is Golok Vrindavan. Here you have to go. Here you belong. And from here we have fallen into this material world and suffering. So purpose of life is to go from this black zone to pink zone. This is purpose of life. And then Krishna talks about three modes of material nature, that this material world is acting under my control, and in this material world three modes are active, but I am beyond these three modes. Then sunrise and sunset का example आता है कि कृष्णा का appearance and disappearance is like sunrise and sunset. You never say that sun is taking birth and sun is dying. No, you always say sun is rising and sun is setting. As soon as you say sunrise and sunset, that means sun is always existing, but it is our fault we are not able to see the sun. है ना? In the same way, Krishna is also there. Krishna is existing eternally. It is our fault, it is our flaw that we are not able to see Krishna because of our faults, our defects. In my status, I have put one image, all of you can see after the class. It is depicting one of the defects. We have so many defects. In that image, you will see that how our senses are so defective. When does Lord incarnate? That we have discussed. Whenever and wherever there is decline in religious practices, Krishna descends to again establish religious principle. Like Buddha appeared. Buddha is Krishna himself. Buddha preached atheism, no? Because that time people on the name of Vedas, they were killing animals. So Buddha appeared and he rejected Vedas only. So Buddha is Krishna only. And Krishna is preaching atheism. Just see. So this atheism, Buddhism is atheism. Buddhism में वो लोग scriptures को follow नहीं करते. So Buddhism में वो बोलते हैं अहिंसा परमो धर्म. So at least a good person बनाते हैं. So Krishna is only Buddha appeared and said that don't follow Vedas, because लोग वेद को ही रेफर करके जानवरों को मार के खा रहे थे. Okay. So these are details explained in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna appears in one day of Brahma. हम लोगों ने ब्रह्मा का दिन भी कैलकुलेट किया था. One day of Brahma is 1000 Mahayugas. This one Mahayuga is 4 cycles. Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, Kali is one Mahayuga. Like this 1000 Mahayuga, when it crosses, that is one day of Brahma. So one day of Brahma, Krishna appears one time. In Dwapar Yuga, that too of 7th Manu, 28th millennium. मैंने ये भी एक्सप्लेन किया है मनु क्या होते हैं एंड मिलेनियम क्या होता है. If you have forgotten, you can ask me on WhatsApp. Then why does Lord incarnate? Lord incarnates to destroy the demons and protect the devotees. और फिर यहाँ कृष्णा बोलते हैं जन्म का, this is one of the most important verses. I had already said to all of you that भगवान का जन्म और कर्म दिव्य है. इसको समझना इतना आसान नहीं है. लोग सोचते हैं अरे भगवान की एक्टिविटी तो कृष्णा लड़कियों, जवान यंग लड़कियों की वस्त्र चुरा लिए, उनके साथ रासलीला किए और माखन चुराए और पता नहीं क्या क्या किए. सो उनको लगता है अरे कृष्णा की एक्टिविटीज कोई एक्टिविटी, ये तो सारे गलत काम किया है. No, Krishna's activity is transcendental. Here Krishna is saying, if you just understand my janma and karma, if you know this, understand this, then after leaving this body, you will come to me and you will never take birth in this material horrible world. Just see, इसका मतलब Krishna का birth, it is not so easy. है ना? It is not so easy. Krishna's appearance and activities are transcendental. That we have to understand from the scriptures. When we hear from the authorized, so then only we can understand that Krishna, why he performs the activities, why Krishna did Ras Leela, why Krishna stole the garments of young gopis, why Krishna married 16,000 queens. All these things, when we hear from the authorized source devotees, then we understand. But I have already shown all of you. Kalia snake, which was having 1,000 hoods, and from all the hoods, venom got from outside. Krishna finally brought him, and then finally Kalia went out from this and all the peaceful. So this pastime already I have narrated and shown to you also. So you can see this in YouTube. And then Krishna explained about Varanasam system. There are 4 kinds of Varnas: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and this is divided according to quality, not by birth. Just like a judge का बेटा जज नहीं हो सकता, जज का बेटा तभी जज हो सकता है जब वो पढ़ाई लिखाई करके अपने फादर से गाइडेंस लेके क्वालिफाई हो, तभी वो जज बन सकता है. Otherwise he's not judge. But yes, he has got great facility to get all kinds of guidance from his father to become judge very easily. That privilege he has. But not that the son of judge is also judge. In the same way, son of a brahmana is not brahmana. Son of brahmana has got great privilege to become a brahmana because his father is brahmana, but he is not by birth brahmana. He has to go through the process of learning, reformatory processes he has to go through, then only he can become brahmana. But today, unfortunately, son of brahmana claims himself as brahman, but that is not so. Then with this also we understand law of karma यहाँ start हो जाता है, rain and trees, है ना. I hope you have understood. Law of karma हमने बहुत अच्छे से डिस्कस किया था. तो law of karma में ये एक चीज आती है कि कोई भी एक्टिविटी करोगे तो उसका रिएक्शन आता है. And we understood that because of reaction we are here suffering in this material world. So the purpose of life is to get out of this action reaction. But also we understood that we cannot get out of the performance of activity. We have to perform the activity. So कैसे करें? Activity perform करनी है लेकिन उसका reaction नहीं है, कैसे हो सकता है ये? So there are so many spiritually they are scratching their head how it is possible you perform your activity but you will not get any reaction. Therefore many times spiritualists, so called spiritualists like Mayavadis, they stop performing activity. They will just do nothing and stop doing anything. They will, and their slogan is neti neti neti. Oh, money is maya, women is maya, this is maya, opulence is maya, position is maya. They don't want anything. But by that also you cannot get free from reaction, because if you sit idly your mind will do all nonsense, and through mind you are committing sin, and then you'll get reaction. So remain idle is not possible. Now you perform activity, then reaction will come. So how to come into the stage where you will perform activity but you'll not get reaction? That is explained in Bhagavad Gita very nicely, that by giving the example of milk and curd. Same milk, if you drink more, then your stomach will be upset, है? But if you same milk you convert into curd and take that curd, that same जब जो आपका पेट खराब हुआ, your stomach is upset, that stomach will be again cured by the curd. Curd is again milk only, derivative of milk only. But now same milk derivative if you take, it will cure you. But when you took the milk, it was creating problem. Similarly, activity nahi stop karni, activity you perform, but when you connect that activity to Krishna, that becomes transcendental. Then you will not get any reaction for suffering here in this material world. That is the beauty of bhakti. Only bhakti is having this thing. Krishna bhakti is only having this quality, that you perform the activity for Krishna, but also you will not get any reaction. Otherwise you will get all kinds of reaction. So then Krishna explained about sacrifices, different sacrifices, and through that sacrifice we have to learn to control the senses. सेंस कंट्रोल क्यों करना है? बिकॉज सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन करेंगे तो मटेरियल एग्जिस्टेंस में फंसे रहेंगे, और सेंस कंट्रोल करेंगे तो स्पिरिचुअल एग्जिस्टेंस में हम प्रमोट हो जाएंगे. देयरफॉर वी हैव टू कंट्रोल सेंसेस. विदाउट सैक्रिफाइस नो हैप्पीनेस इन लाइफ. ये हमने समझा. अगर सैक्रिफाइस नहीं करेंगे तो हमें आनंद बिल्कुल नहीं मिलेगा. नायम अस्ति कुतो अन्य पुरुषोत्तम. नायम अस्ति अयज्ञ से. अगर आप यज्ञ नहीं करेंगे तो न तो इस जन्म में आप खुश रहेंगे, ना तो अगले जन्म में. ये भी हमने समझा. तो इस जन्म तो सैक्रिफाइस क्या करें? यज्ञ करें. यज्ञ मतलब क्या? फायर जलाएं और लकड़ी ले आए, घी डालें, उसमें आहुति डालें. दैट इज नॉट पॉसिबल नाउ इन दिस एज, because there is no brahmana. First of all, there is no ghee, sufficient ghee. There is no such ingredients to perform yajna. So what kind of yajna we have to perform? Simple yajna by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. By this we'll get out of all kinds of so many species of life. There are 84 lakh species of life. You can see over here. And trees, plants, reptiles, worms, birds, beasts, 84 lakh species, varieties of living entities, 84 lakh species. You see, in human being also there are 4 lakhs varieties of human beings, varieties of species in human beings. See, in this picture you can see one is black, white, red, yellow, all kinds of varieties are there in even human. 4 lakhs varieties. So total 84 lakhs. So when we perform sacrifice, then we get out of this cycle of birth and death. We attain complete knowledge, then we release ourselves from material misery and loving transcendental service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we become free from reaction. अब क्वेश्चन आता है कि हम नॉलेज कैसे रिसीव करें? ट्रू नॉलेज, दैट वी डिस्कस दैट बाय एक्सेप्टिंग अ spiritual master, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, then render service unto him. Then truth will be revealed to us, and then we'll be freed from illusion forever. ये ट्रांसेंडेंटल नॉलेज की लिस्ट है ना. हमें समझ में आएगा फ्रॉम दैट गुरु. जब हम एक गुरु, सदगुरु को अप्रोच करते हैं, बोनाफाइड गुरु, फिर वो हमें उसकी कृपा से हम इल्यूजन से फ्री होते हैं. उसकी कृपा से हम समझते हैं कि हम भगवान के अंश हैं, एंड देन वी अचीव अ रियल पीस. Even if, and this knowledge, if you have this transcendental knowledge, if you have transcendental knowledge, is we belong to Krishna, we are part and parcel of Krishna, and we have to go back to Krishna. This is transcendental knowledge. तो यहाँ कृष्णा बोल रहे हैं, अगर आपके पास transcendental knowledge है, and even if you are very sinful, but don't worry, that transcendental knowledge will take you out of this sinful activity, sinful life, and it will make you to cross over this material ocean of misery. This transcendental knowledge is so powerful that it will burn all the karma, and as the blazing fire turns firewood to ashes, oh Arjuna, so does the fire of knowledge burn to ashes all reaction to material activities. That is the power of transcendental knowledge. You see, it will burn to ashes all reactions. जो भी हम activity कर रहे हैं ना, उसका जो reaction है इसको burn कर देगा. There will be no reaction which will hit us because of transcendental knowledge. So transcendental knowledge is very, very powerful. What is best and purest in this world? Transcendental knowledge. और अगर श्रद्धा है तभी आप इसको एंजॉय कर सकते हैं, एंड आपको पीस मिलेगा. ये श्रद्धा की बात है. आप चाहो तो इसको रिजेक्ट भी कर सकते हो, लेकिन अगर आपने रिजेक्ट किया तो आपके साथ क्या होगा पता है? You will suffer here in this material world miserably, and you will not have any kind of happiness, not in this life, nor in the next. So who cannot attain the transcendental knowledge? Those who are ignorant. Second, faithless person who doubt the revealed scriptures. These people cannot understand transcendental knowledge and will suffer life after life. Doubting soul will never be happy. So we should never ever doubt the scriptures. We should never doubt Krishna कि Krishna exist करते हैं कि नहीं करते. No, we should never doubt. If we doubt, then we can never ever be happy. And by this knowledge only we can be raised to the spiritual world and finally meet Krishna. So one who follows the instruction of Gita as it is imparted by the Lord, the personality of Godhead himself, becomes free from all doubts by the grace of transcendental knowledge. So transcendental knowledge हमें develop करना है, that we belong to Krishna, and to realize that knowledge we have to chant Hare Krishna. So here the fourth chapter is, in a summary, we have discussed. So these are the concepts which are described in the fourth chapter. Now tomorrow onwards we'll have fifth chapter. Fifth chapter is very small chapter, only 29 verses. 4 to 5 days we'll cover that, and then we'll come to sixth chapter. Sixth chapter is about Sankhya philosophy, Dhyana yoga. Yoga के process बारे में बताएं, how to control the mind, how to regulate our senses, how to have regulated life, how to get free from all the sufferings in our life. All those concepts are very nicely explained in sixth chapter. So here we'll stop. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.